Okay, folks, do a little update here on where I'm at here. Got some mounts made for this thing. I've actually got to slide it forward a little ways, and we'll bring the engine up probably about a half inch, 3/4 of an inch, and I'll get everything ground out and get these mounts welded in. And decided that I'm gonna, this has got to come back out anyway. I've got to clean it, and we'll do a little bit of painting and stuff. But I am going to go ahead and use the hydraulic clutch on the passenger side, just like I've done the other one. And the reason is we got some major clearance issues. I guess that fork is so high in the bell housing, it's not even coming close to where my pedal's at. So what we'll do is put a hydraulic on the other side. I'm going to maybe use, I got that 59 Ford, I may use the pedals out of it and put a clutch master cylinder and brake master cylinder on the firewall. And it's not like we're keeping it original anyway, but so we're going to update that, and that's where we stand on this one. And I'll show you the other one. Okay, the 302, we've got this thing hanging up. We've got the oil pan off. Got everything cleaned up pretty good. And actually, Ray Parker brought me a carburetor for this thing. He brought me a 2-barrel Holly. I think it's like a 350 CFM. I think we're going to put it on it and try it. See how it does. And it'll bolt directly to the manifold that the throttle body injection come off of. I bought a brand new oil pan, and the reason I bought it, and I'll show it to you. Okay, this is our front sump oil pan. I bought this on eBay. It was $35 free shipping, $35.99, something like that. So it was so cheap I just couldn't pass it up. So I went ahead and bought a new oil pan, and I think I had one on a truck out back, but I would have had to pull the engine. This was a lot easier. And I've got a new pickup for it. That was, what, 12 bucks or something. So we're not in it very far. We've got all our gaskets. We've got our headers, which is right here. And they're short Mustang style headers. There's our carburetor. We've got to do a little work on it. But so I think we're going to run them headers. I've got gaskets and everything, so we'll get that together. And I've got a little complaint here. I've got a Hotsy pressure washer, but it's a steam cleaner. It's really hot water, not really steam, but the pump's bad on it. So I'm working on getting a replacement pump and doing that. But in the meantime, my wife went and bought this pressure washer, and 2,800 psi, come from Lowe's, Troy built. Does a fine job. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Kind of surprising there's no choke or anything on it. No primer bulb. They got this new setup. You pull it once, it starts, no problem, runs good. When you're pressure washing with this thing, it seems like it takes every bit of the horsepower that engine's got. I mean, it's really dogging it down. But that's not my problem. My complaint is, I guess I'm old school, but everybody, when you tell me you've got a 5-horse engine or 5-horse Briggs or Tecumseh or Clanton or Lawson or any of them like that, I know exactly what you're talking about. Somebody tells me they got an 8-horse, I know what they're talking about. 3.5 horse. But things have changed, and unfortunately, this engine, they've got 8.5 on it. I don't know who they're trying to fool there, but that's foot-pounds of torque, of course. At 2,800 RPM, they got the CCs on it. But why can't they just print horsepower on them? I mean, it would be like if they changed the gallons of fuel to buying it by pound. I mean, you just don't even know what you're getting anymore. And I think I figured out that this is about a 3.6 horsepower. I think. I'm not even sure of that, but it's in our heads, especially us older folks or a little older, that something is rated by horsepower. You can pretty much tell what it is. If you got a lawnmower and it's got a 12 horse, and you got a lawnmower that's got a 3.5 horse, you've got it in your head about what size the decks are, or what size they'll cut, or what you can actually do with them. And for them to change it like they have, I remember in 5th grade math class, I was always good and enjoyed math, and I remember the teacher telling me that after learning everything that we learned, decimals and fractions and stuff, that it really didn't matter, that they was going to change the metric anyway. And in 5th grade, it kind of made me pretty mad, because everything that I learned wasn't going to be worth worth diddly squat, really. And thankfully they have never, you know, fully changed, but it bothers me. And you know, you got a engine made in the USA, good old Briggs and Stratton. Why can't they just put the damn horsepower on them? I mean, it would make it so much nicer for us. It's pretty simple to do. I mean, if you know what the foot-pounds of torque is, I'm sure you know what the horsepower is. And you know, and I don't even think all of them put the foot-pounds of torque. I think they just go by cc's, and you know, that's nice if you live in Japan, but I don't live in Japan. That's the way it is. But I'm gonna get back to work on this thing, and don't mean to gripe there, but just kind of makes me mad. All right, show you more. Okay, we got a new oil pan on and got the starter pulled off. We'll do a little bit more cleaning here and there and go pull the plug wires off and probably take the spark plugs up. I'm not going to go buy new ones for it. I mean, it'd probably be a smart idea too, but you know, it was running perfect, so I'm not going to worry too much about that, as long as we don't break them. And pull the cap, and I'll go ahead and maybe the pulleys, and go ahead and get some paint on this thing. You know, we're not doing a restoration or anything. We just want it to look a little better than it looks. But moving right along on it. We'll see if we can't get the, hopefully get everything painted up and get it ready to sit in, or just about ready to sit in. I don't think I can get it in there today, but maybe tomorrow. All right, show you more. Okay, folks, we've got our 302 cleaned up and painted and about ready to go in. Run into an issue. I did not realize, and you know, I'm not up on Fords, don't get me wrong. You know, I hadn't worked on them that much. I mean, not engine swaps and stuff, and you know, I've done everything probably but a Ford, but did not realize that the motor mounts, which are here, now these are new that I bought, that's not the only motor mount. You got an intermediate mount that goes from here to the cast mount in the frame. I've got the cast mounts, but I was missing the intermediate mount and did not even realize I needed one. So I've ordered them, and of course it's probably going to be a few days before they get here, so I'm stuck not being able to put it in, but you know, just about everything's finished up. The headers, I had to weld up one of the ports there on the headers. I'm not sure if that was EGR or what. I don't think it wasn't an O2 sensor. I cut it off, so, but we got that done, and everything else is looking good and moving right along. So I think what we'll do now is jump back onto the diesel in the 55. Of course, I hadn't changed the oil filter yet. Of course, I hadn't put oil in it yet, but I mean, it's going to look fine. You know, I'm not looking for no show engine or anything like that. I just wanted to put it together and make it look decent, and because this car, I'm sure, is going to be sold. Somebody's going to end up with this one, and we'll get this covered up, and we'll just keep at it on the truck, and then when we get our parts, we'll get her rolling. Okay, folks, we got the engine moved forward a little bit, and now we've got the mounts in. I'm going to go ahead and do the rear cross member, and then we're going to pull the engine transmission back out, and I'm going to fill all this in and grind it and paint it, make it look decent, and clean the engine up and stuff. And we got a lot of grinding to do on this mount. This mount actually came out and had a hydraulic pump that mounted to it. It ran off this front belt, so that's why that's different than the other one, but should work out just fine. All right. I'm going to end this one here, and oh, I wanted to add also the on the 302 engine we're putting in the Falcon. I wasn't sure what color that thing was supposed to be, and I got online and was looking, and of course everything was coming up blue, and it said except for Sprint. So I'm assuming, and my understanding is that the engine in that thing was sort of an orange color, and I didn't want to go back with that, just because everybody be asking why I painted it orange. I mean, and we're not going back original anyway, but that's why we went blue. Just because that's what I remember on the Fords, you know, always the blue, you know. But it looks like we've got a little issue here. This is dented in on the frame, and the frame's got a little bit of a twist from right here back this way, And what happened is it was hit on this side, evidently on the bumper, and bent the bumper back, and this bumper bracket pushed this frame in. So we'll straighten all that back out. That's not bad at all. So we'll get that taken care of too, and get her cleaned up, and I'll show you more here as soon as I get something done. All right, bye.